Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. A current WWE champion is set to defend his title at WrestleMania 41. Nevertheless, wrestling veteran Vince Russo recently claimed the upcoming championship match means nothing, criticizing Triple H and his creative team for their booking of the star mentioned above. Jey Uso won the men's Royal Rumble match over a month ago to earn a world title shot and the right to main event WrestleMania 41. After confronting the undisputed WWE champion Cody Rhodes and the world heavyweight champion Gunther, the 39-year-old chose to challenge the ring general. Over the past few weeks, the Austrian star took out his WrestleMania opponent multiple times. On his The Brand podcast, Russo criticized the storyline, claiming the title match means nothing. Meanwhile, he slammed the company, creatively led by Chief Content Officer Triple H, for allegedly burying Gunther heading into the Showcase of the Immortals. Speaking on the Behind the Turnbuckle, The Last Word podcast, former head writer Vince Russo predicted the outcome of the World Heavyweight Championship match between Jey Uso and Gunther at WrestleMania 41. The wrestling veteran claimed Uso would emerge victorious in what would be a snooze fest. Gunther recently surpassed 229 days as World Heavyweight Champion. It would be interesting to see if his title reign would end at the hands of Jey Uso at this year's Show of Shows. Ahmed Hamdi is an Egyptian journalist with a decade of experience in sports journalism, specializing in pro wrestling and football. Hamdi kicked off his career as a sports reporter for Al-Ahram Weekly. He then became a producer/reporter for Malmasa TV program on the Egyptian channel On TV. In the following years, Hamdi worked as a reporter for several international news outlets, including Deutsche Welle Germany, As Safia Lebanon, and Al Monitor USA. In 2014, Hamdi joined leading Egyptian newspaper Al Masri Al Yawm, where he is now a senior sports editor. In addition to all that, the Egyptian also worked as a sports editor for Sport 360 and feature writer for Mansour.com. Hamdi has covered several sports events throughout the past few years, including WWE's tour in Egypt and the 2019 African Cup of Nations. The experienced journalist joined Sportskiva's pro wrestling feature writers team in early 2021. Since then, his work has managed to get millions of reads. As the grand spectacle of WrestleMania approaches, there's one name that has loomed large in recent weeks: Drew McIntyre. After an incredible rise to the top, an unforgettable battle at WrestleMania 36, where McIntyre defeated Brock Lesnar for the WWE Championship, and subsequent years of hard-fought battles, the Scottish Warrior's trajectory seemed poised for greatness. But as we edge closer to WrestleMania 39, there's a sentiment creeping into the WWE universe. Drew McIntyre's moment has been buried, and Triple H is the one wielding the shovel. WWE Hall of Famer and veteran of the business, Booker T, recently voiced his concerns, stating that McIntyre's title match at this year's WrestleMania has been rendered irrelevant, largely due to how he's been booked leading into the event. According to Booker T, the treatment McIntyre has received in the build-up to this match has overshadowed his previous achievements and his potential to truly shine on the grandest stage of them all. Triple H, known for his in-ring prowess and current position as WWE's Chief Content Officer, has long been lauded for his ability to structure storylines that elevate talent. However, over the past year, a noticeable shift has occurred under his creative leadership. Some of the most promising talents have seemingly been lost in the shuffle or given watered-down storylines that fail to live up to their potential. Drew McIntyre is one such example. McIntyre's stock was at an all-time high heading into WrestleMania 36. A year prior, he had been the underdog, a fan favorite with a compelling rise through the ranks. Then, at Mania 36, in front of an empty performance center due to the pandemic, he defeated Brock Lesnar to claim the WWE Championship in an emotional moment that would have been a career-defining one had it taken place in front of a live crowd. Since then, however, McIntyre's booking has been inconsistent at best. While he's remained a strong character, the stories surrounding him have fluctuated wildly. His loss of the title to Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania 37 seemed to stagnate his momentum, and even though he was involved in some major programs thereafter, including feuds with the likes of Lashley, Big E, and Roman Reigns, it has felt as though McIntyre's presence on the card has been more about fulfilling a role than making a statement. Fast forward to 2023, and McIntyre finds himself back in the title picture heading into WrestleMania 39. But this time, there is an unmistakable sense of been there, done that. His storyline with Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship and his feud with Sheamus for the same title, though thrilling at times, have felt secondary compared to the explosive main event programs involving Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes. Booker T has made it clear that McIntyre has been buried in his pursuit of the top prize. The multiple underwhelming storylines, coupled with the fact that McIntyre has been used more as a supporting player than a true main event talent in recent months, leaves a sour taste. Booker T's assertion isn't just about the booking, it's about the lack of investment in McIntyre as a true contender, the absence of a storyline that could truly elevate him to the top once more. Perhaps the most damning statement Booker T made was about the upcoming title match at WrestleMania. According to the WWE Hall of Famer, the match doesn't matter anymore. The build has been lackluster, and the storylines involving McIntyre, Gunther, and Sheamus have lacked the personal stakes necessary to make it feel like a must-see encounter. McIntyre's involvement feels more like a token gesture than a genuine opportunity for him to reclaim the spotlight. In years past, WrestleMania matches were built on the foundation of character development, personal rivalries, and the raw emotion that the biggest event of the year promised. But for McIntyre, this year's Mania feels different. The feud with Gunther has been overshadowed by the chaos in the main event scene. Sheamus, despite his status as one of the most respected veterans in the company, has been tied to McIntyre in a way that doesn't quite fit the magnitude of the moment. There's no fiery hatred, no personal vendetta. It's simply a clash for a title with no emotional weight behind it. Triple H, in his role as creative head, could have injected life into McIntyre's feud with Gunther, bringing more emotional investment to the table. A compelling storyline could have been built around McIntyre's desire to reclaim his place at the top, perhaps even evoking his earlier rise to power. The fans had already seen McIntyre's potential, but it seemed that Triple H chose to keep him in a somewhat safe, predictable position instead of taking a risk with him. The fact that the Intercontinental Championship match is still being viewed as a lower-tier, mid-card affair, despite the involvement of 3 top-tier performers, is a sign of just how far McIntyre's star has fallen. The Intercontinental Championship, while prestigious in its own right, has never had the same gravitas as the WWE Championship, and it's clear that the stakes for McIntyre, Sheamus, and Gunther are far less significant than they should be. The most disturbing part of this whole issue is that McIntyre isn't the only example of WWE's creative direction faltering. Over the years, the company has had a habit of pushing certain stars to the top while leaving others in the proverbial cold. This type of booking doesn't necessarily indicate a failure of talent, but a failure of creative vision. The Intercontinental Championship match has become a reflection of that broader issue. With the rise of superstars like Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, and Seth Rollins, the mid-card has largely been relegated to a series of filler matches, with little emotional investment or long-term planning. The secondary championships, while still holding value, have struggled to retain their prestige in the wake of Reigns' dominance at the top. For McIntyre, this is a tragic turn of events. He should be one of WWE's most cherished talents heading into WrestleMania, but instead, it feels as though he's simply another player in a game he's already won once before. His storylines, although entertaining, have never reached the emotional peaks that would justify his place at the pinnacle of WWE once more. As WrestleMania 39 inches closer, the concern is palpable. Has Triple H buried Drew McIntyre's potential? Has WWE missed the opportunity to elevate him to the heights his career deserves? Booker T's statement may not be entirely fair, but it speaks to a larger issue. In a company brimming with talent, some stars, like McIntyre, seem to have lost their spark due to lackluster booking. Whether or not McIntyre can regain his momentum after WrestleMania remains to be seen. But as of now, the whispers of buried potential seem to ring true. McIntyre may find a way to rise from the ashes, but for now, it feels like his title match at WrestleMania is less about achieving greatness and more about being another cog in a machine that has yet to fully recognize his worth.